Jennifer, and I'm here to do a tutorial and introduce you to the Laurel Sports Bra. This is the finished sports bra of the Laurel. This is a 32C, I believe, or 32B. This one is actually for my sister. So you can see it actually has kind of a little sweetheart shape in the front, has a crisscross detail, and it has a heart shape back with a hook and eye. So here are the instructions. I also want to show you a couple other samples. Might as well show you some of the variations that I've done. This one is for me, so this one's a fair amount bigger than my sister's because this one is, I believe, a 36J or 38J. This one was, I did a straight top stitch on it, and I am kind of, with trial and error, it won't work because the threads pop. So definitely do not do your top stitching with a straight stitch around the neckline and also around the heart because my threads popped. I'm still wearing this because it's not falling apart, it just looks a little bit thready. This is another one that I did for myself, and this one I actually altered it so there is no hook and eye in the back, but all the other features are still the same. And I did a cover stitch on the neckline and armhole as opposed to this one that I did a zigzag everywhere. Now this one is it's a little bit different. I actually scooped the neckline on here, so I actually straightened it out from having it in a V shape. I kept the crisscross in the front, but I also turned the back into just a little circle to get rid of the heart on there. So these are all simple changes that you can do. Some of them are discussed in the instructions. So the instructions are hardy. There are 15 pages, so it will give you a lot of details on how to do this. Now I made my measuring instructions a little bit easier. Basically, you got a size chart, you do 2 measurements, and to determine your size, take your measurement. Wear a supportive bra, one that actually holds you up. This is one of my Christinas that I did a too stretchy of a fabric, so I'm pulling down a little bit on it. Plus I think it was a 40 band, and I've lost a little weight. So you want to do your under bust measurement, snug. See, I've got 36 on here, so you're going to go to your chart to the under bust and find where you've got the range of, let's see, I've got it 36 to 37, so that's going to put me in a 38 today. Some days I measure a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to take my upper measurement. And it might be easy if you have somebody else do this, that way we make sure that they're nice and in case you need to hold yourself up in order to take your measurements. And then I've got a 48 full, so on my chart, and we'll put it up on the screen so you can see it, 48 will put me into a J cup. So so the charts are easy to use. I actually did also do the chart in metric measurements, so you can take your centimeter measurements and plug that into the chart to make it a little bit easier for you. The instructions and actually the listing on the website does show what fabrics you need, but I did do a small selection of kits, so if you wanted to do a kit. I now have all these patterns available in 3 to 4 different pattern sizes. So if you want to print in letter or A4, but I also did A0 and A1. And those are, not everything is in an A0, I believe, because the smaller size, they were all able to fit on the smaller size. And I think that's just for the first 3 or 4 bands that not all 4 pattern sizes are there. So you can actually print large scale. I also did a layer function, so I kind of have a screenshot in here. I did a layer function where if you open it up in a new version of Adobe Reader, you can actually turn off any sizes you don't want to print. And on the info layer for it tells you actually what pages to print for that size. So it makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to print out all 12 or 16 pages for all sizes. You're wondering, why are there 12 or 16 pages for a sports bra? I have 182 sizes that this covers, which is more than I did with the Christina. I have gone back and adjusted that, so now the Christina does have the same range, but it's everywhere from a 28A through a 52N. So that gives you a very large range, and it should cover most of you. If for some reason you fall a little bit outside of that range, you know, I can always, there are instructions on here on how to grade up a little bit, or you can always contact me and ask me how I would do it. The elastic I used for this is this really nice plush elastic that we have. It's plush on both sides. It has really stretchy. And so this is what I used for the sample. You do not have to use this same elastic. You can use other sizes, you can use other stretches. What you want to do is determine your bra size based on that band. So here I have marked at 5 inches, and I also have a regular strap. It's a little bit less stretchy on this one. So if you take this, mark it at 5 inches, and then you stretch it and line it up to a ruler. This one stretches to 10 inches. If you have one like this, and you stretch it, this one only stretches to about 7 inches. If you have a less restrictive stretch, I would go up 1 band size. That way it's not going to be too tight on you. If you do like a tighter fitting sports bra, stay with your size that you measure at. This is not supposed to be a snug band. All of the shaping and support is in the body of this itself. So it does allow a little bit of pressure off of the rib cage, so it's really great if you've got acid reflux. It keeps it from bothering you so much, which is one of the reasons I did this. Let's see, your fabrics. You can use a nice firm. This is a scuba, and I actually do have some of these and some kits left for the Christina. If you do end up getting one of the Christina kits for this, there is a Laurel add-on, so you can actually just get the add-on and it'll give you all the rest of the features that you need for it. So this is just a scuba. It's a 4-way stretch, but it doesn't have a lot of stretch each way. So this is actually another example of that same fabric. There's a kit in this one though. So you can see it's a nice firm both ways. It has more stretch going across the body and less stretch going up and down. You can always line it in power mesh or something similar. You don't want to have too much stretch on it. You know, something like this, which is just like a cotton jersey with a whole lot of Lycra, this is way too stretchy. So you wouldn't want to use something like this. So swim spandex is probably a little too stretchy unless you're probably a D cup or under, then you can get away with using that other fabric. Let me see what else. I do have a couple customers who use cotton jersey, so basic t-shirt fabric. So they can't have any synthetic fibers in it. They have sensitive skin, so cotton jersey is usable for this. You just want to make sure that it stretches across and not up and down on the body. So this does call for several different sizes of elastic to accommodate the crisscross in the front. So this. You can use other sizes than the ones that are actually recommended, and the instructions do show you and tell you how to adjust the pattern pieces based on the size of elastic you are using. So don't feel that you have to get a kit from me. They are available, but you can obviously and certainly use your own supplies for this. So this is just a quick layout from using one of my kits. This is the medium-sized kit, and this is the 38J. So what I've done is I folded the fabric over on this end just so I could get this piece. This piece is here on the fold, and then I added this piece here. This fabric is actually fairly wide, and my kitty cat is coming up to say hello. This fabric is 60 inches wide. You do want to make sure that when you're cutting this out, that the lines on your fabric are going the length with the grain line. So this one, when I actually had cut it, the stretch was going in the opposite direction, so I actually had to go in and I adjusted these. So we want these lines to go up and down so that way you have the most stretch around the body. So I folded them over like this. You can see this one has a whole lot extra that I'm not using. So we're going to cut 2 of the strap, 2 of the front waistband, 2 of the bottom and top waistband, and the back waistband. Ignore the fact that these ones are not all pretty with all the text and everything on it. I haven't finalized and made these patterns all pretty yet. But this is basically how you lay it out. If you're working with the large pattern set or the large kit, You may just need to kind of do a little bit more nesting, but everything should fit. I did double check that the largest size I will carry will cover the large. So another thing to notice is that all of my patterns for the Laurel will actually be interchanged with the ones from the Christina. So you can actually, if you like the band on the Christina better without the hook and eye, you can actually use that one. And for just a little bit of reference, this is the Christina band, this is the Laurel band, and the difference is about 1 inch. So we basically took off 2 inches for that hook and eye closure on there. So if you don't have the Christina and you want to extend your back band so there's no closure on the back, just add 1 inch to the center back. So that's really the only difference on the back band. For the front band on the Christina, basically we have this piece kind of comes in the middle, and there is a 3/8 of an inch overlap, just so you can see them for reference. And then this one is basically folded on both sides here. So that one's how that one's attached. So for the larger sample I will be doing, I'm actually going to do a full back without a hook and eye. So I'm going to be using the back of the Christina. But I'm still doing the cutout heart shape on it. And then on the smaller size, which is going to be for my sister, I'm going to be using the smaller band that has the hook and eye closure. And that's really the major differences I'm doing. Oh wait, here is, so the strap. This is the adjustable strap. And on the strap pieces, I guess can't find that piece on here. It's probably right in front of me and I'm not seeing it. I'm actually going to be also including a cut line where you can use if you don't want to actually make it adjustable. This is actually the line I did for the Christina, so if the length on the Christina fit you perfectly, then just cut it on the line that will be on this piece. Otherwise you can do it as adjustable, and I do have slides that will work with the adjustable on the wide strap. I do have the 1 3/8 inch strap slides for this. Now if you are going to be doing the strap slides, your fabric has to be thinner, something like this. You can't be using anything like scuba, otherwise it will not go through the slides. And going with the elastic on its own with the slides might actually be a little bit too stretchy. So kind of be aware of what fabric you're using. So if you're going to be using a scuba, I'd probably try and make a shorter strap. What you could always do is you could attach the front, and then in one of the last steps, clean finish the back. You can cut it a little longer so you can make sure that your strap is the right length for you. This is basically standard. I think I've only had about 1 or 2 people say that the strap was too short for them, but they said that on all garments they always have to extend it in the shoulder. So if you have to extend your patterns on the shoulder because of your shoulder, basically your bust height, then you do need to make your strap a little bit longer than this line. This is the power mesh that we're going to do. So I'm going to line this up, and I want to really kind of save my fabric here. So put that on the fold, so I get that piece on the fold right there. And I'm actually going to wait to cut the other 2 pieces after I get this one. My fabric is actually a little bit, it would be square right about here at 30. I'm just using a little piece, so I'm not wasting too much. So I'm starting here. Let me get my pattern weights. I guess I could just go ahead and fold this one over, because this piece right here needs to be on the fold. And then this piece, I'm actually going to cut 2 pieces, one here and one here. And it's actually with this one, let's see if I can play around with this. Of course, it's right there in the middle. But basically, you can get it. You will most likely have to flip them. So you could even actually, so I'd probably do this one here and this one here. And it doesn't matter if you're doing it this way or this way for this pattern piece, because power mesh is the same on both sides. So this one's going to be on the fold, this one's on the fold, and this one you're just cutting 2 out of in your power mesh. And you probably want to double check to see the width, kind of how it stretches. The power mesh has a fairly equal stretch from top to bottom, but if you want it to be a little bit more firm, the part that goes across will be a little bit firmer than the part going up and down, and that's basically crossing the grain from your outer layer to your power mesh. And you can see my cat's reflection on my pattern. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out, and then we'll go over to the pattern, or over to the sewing machine. Thanks for watching. If you would like to have more content like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment below. Thank you very much.